welcome back, baby girls. I missed all of you. I hope everybody's doing well. We're like halfway to Christmas this month now. I really, really hope everybody's staying warm during this holiday season. Right now in Texas, it's not too bad. It's like in the 50s. Could be colder in my opinion. I wish it was colder, but anyways, that's just me. But it's been a minute since I've recorded an episode in real time and uploaded it because I just had a couple things going on. So I decided to pre-record and kind of schedule everything. But now I'm kind of back on my regular schedule and my regular routine, and things have been taken care of. The main thing that I was kind of busy dealing with is I moved. I no longer live with my parents and my siblings and my grandparents. I live on my own. And it's been an adventure. Right now, when you're listening to this, it's been about probably 2-3 weeks since I've been in my own spot. But that's what this episode is about. I kind of wanted to debrief, talk about my experience. And this is kind of a follow-up episode to episode 2, which is eldest child syndrome. If you listen to it, it's all about being the eldest child and the lessons I've learned being in a brown household specifically, and the things that I've had to work on. And one of the things I talk about is spreading your wings and doing your own thing and not being afraid to move out if that's what you want to do. And I had to take my own advice. So here we are in my own place, living by myself, paying my own bills and doing life. But yeah, let's just get into it because I have a lot to tell y'all. So let's do it. Qu'est-ce que je vais te nommer? Je vais te nommer l'amour. L'amour tendre, l'amour qui chante doucement dans mon cœur, l'amour sans logique à la raison. So if you know me at all, or if you did get the chance to listen to episode 2 or even other episodes on the podcast, you'll know that I have lived outside of my parents' home before. In my freshman year of college, right out of high school, I went out of state and I moved to Ohio and I did the whole dorm thing. So I was on my own for a few years. I had to learn how to take care of myself, had a roommate, all the fun stuff, had all the freedom. And then I came back and lived with my parents. And ever since I came back, I love you so much, Mom and Dad. Don't take this the wrong way. But ever since I came back, I've been wanting to leave again. Not because I can't stand it at home, but I just really do appreciate having my own space and being able to run on my own schedule and routine and stuff, which I don't think there's nothing wrong with that, because at this point in time, my only real responsibility is to take care of myself, you know? And one day it might not always be that case, you know? Who knows what could happen later in life? I might have to take care of other people if I end up getting married, kids, all the fun stuff, or when my parents get older, if my siblings need something, right? Grandparents, there's always going to be someone who might need to rely on you later. But right now I'm really trying to soak up the fact that I really do have a lot of independence and space to just take care of myself. And I'm grateful to have the opportunity to even do so. I mean, being able to have a full-time job is such a blessing, and I'm appreciative of the fact that I have this so that I don't have to worry about how I'm going to provide for myself. But yeah, it was definitely a hard decision, though. I will say that, because I was battling between staying longer, saving more, and hanging out with my family, or kind of spreading my wings and seeing what happens. Because I feel like I've grown a lot over the past few years. I left college, and when I was on my own for the first time, I was not ready for that. So I kind of crash landed and ended up back where I started with my parents. But then actually coming back low-key gave me an opportunity to start over, start fresh, and build the skills and the qualities in myself that would set me up for success in the future rather than repeating the same old mistakes. So when I left the nest this time, I feel much more prepared to actually care for myself and have a successful lifestyle where I'm on my own, but I know I'm not going to completely screw everything up, you know? I can handle the stresses this time. So it was a hard decision, but then I realized, you know, I've done a lot of growing up until this point, but now the next step for me to get even further in my growth, I realized I needed to step out of the nest and be completely on my own. Because I'm telling you, if you're like a high school student or you're a college student, you've never really left your home or your comfort zone yet. You've always been with your parents. The first time you leave, you're going to face yourself for the first time, your true self that you've never really seen before. You haven't seen that side of yourself before. I guarantee you, no matter how self-aware you think you are, you don't know you until you're on your own. I promise you that. So I kind of wanted to do that again, not to scare myself, but to see how far I've come and what I have yet to accomplish or to improve on in myself, you know? And I just felt like until I make that move, I'm going to be kind of stuck where I am. And I felt like that for a while. So obviously I communicated this with my parents and they were very supportive and they helped me out through the process in terms of just guidance and support. But yeah, I eventually did the research. I looked around, did tours and stuff, and I found a place that I like and I picked it and I chose a date and we got it done. So now I'm just sitting in my new spot recording this podcast and it's so surreal to me. I just feel like it's even more real now with the whole podcast that I'm doing it from my own little space that I can call mine. Like, this is my workspace. This is my studio. This is my spot, you know? It's really cool. And I'm so grateful to have this opportunity to even do something like this. But I will say there are a couple things that I've observed since leaving the house. I just wanted to share with all of you, okay? Especially if you're an eldest child, all right? This is a follow-up episode to episode 2. And I talked a lot about leaving the nest and being on your own and not worrying about your family and everything that they need because they got it. They're going to be fine without you. And I realized over the past week, a week and a half, I guess, they are fine without me. Like, yes, they do need me sometimes, but if anything, now I offer help not out of obligation or worry that they're not going to be okay, but because I just want to go see them and spend more time with them, you know, and it's improved our relationship because now we're more intentional about the time we spend together. We don't just exist in the same room. We make a plan and pick a time to hang out, and we actually sit down and enjoy each other's company rather than just coexisting and ignoring each other. You know, I think that's a huge improvement because, you know, especially when you're living with someone, you can kind of fall into that state where you're just existing and not really interacting with the people around you because you see them all the time. But when, you know, you don't see someone so often, you obviously want to make more of an effort to be present with them. So that's improved a lot. And then I've also been challenged into finding a new routine for myself and getting used to a new space and challenging myself in other ways, like trying a new gym, like being in the gym near here versus where I used to go is definitely an adjustment. It's pushing me out of my comfort zone for sure. But it's good for me because I don't have to, you know, stay in my head and let my insecurities or my worries or my anxieties take over. I'm pushing through that. And I'm taking this new space that I'm in as an opportunity for growth. And that's what's really important because I can either make or break this experience. Now that I'm here, I can either choose to even, like, I can slide backwards into my old ways or become a worse version of myself because there's no accountability except for me and my personal choice and decisions to, you know, take care of myself every day. So I can either slide back into my old ways or become a worse version of myself, or I can choose to be better every day. And it doesn't have to be perfect is also what I realized. There are going to be some days that are better than others, but if I feel like I did majority of the stuff that I needed to do, I'm okay. So yeah, it's been an adjustment for sure. And I definitely miss my little siblings. I miss my little beans a lot because they're so cute and it's the holidays and I wish I could see them more. But again, it's not impossible. I can still go drive up and see them. So it's not that bad at all. But it just makes me crave more time with my family, which I think is an improvement. Because before I was like, nah, I need some space from y'all. But I have plenty of space now. So when I'm with them, I don't feel like we're all stressing each other out. I think we're just having a good time. So those are some of the main things that I've taken away. But I will say that Just because you're on your own too, as eldest child, like we're very hyper independent people. I thought I could do a lot of things on my own. Turns out you do need people in your corner. I needed my friends. I needed my family. I needed a lot of support during this move because not only was I moving, but I was also injured. And so I needed to rely on other people to help me out heavily because I could not do a lot of things on my own, quite literally. And so I'm grateful for that, to have that kind of support. But just because you're moving out on your own doesn't mean that you're completely alone. You still need your friends, your family, your loved ones, your support system. You do still need them, just in a different way. And it's okay to ask for help, especially when you're moving. I'm telling you, you're not going to survive by yourself. So that's another thing I noticed as a hyper independent eldest child. I really love to have control of things and to do things my way and by myself. But this experience, being injured, I'm actually so grateful that I was injured at this time because it forced me to be vulnerable and to work on asking for help because I'm really bad about that. So it gave me a good opportunity to work on, this part of myself that I tend to struggle with. So that's another thing about moving that's definitely helped me out. And it's really cool to see how people do show up for you, especially I think our hyper independence also comes from the fact that maybe we've had unmet needs in the past when we did ask for help. So we've decided that now we just don't ask because we're like, no, I could do it myself because no one else is going to do it better than I do it. But sometimes you can't do it, and that's okay. And that's all right. And also, it doesn't have to always be done your way. Sometimes other people's way can be just as good, if not better than yours. That's another thing I've learned through this move is that you don't have to always do it your way and by yourself. You need support. So don't be afraid to ask for it. Another thing I realized, this was very humbling for me as the eldest child, is that the house is not going to fall apart without you. I went back to see my family the other day and everybody was fine. The house was not on fire. My brothers were in one piece. Everybody was fed and happy and healthy and nobody was crying. Okay. Everything was fine. Everything was fine. And especially as the eldest child, we are under the impression that we are the glue that holds the whole house together. And in some ways, yes, we do bring everyone together. We do play a big part in making sure everything runs smoothly. But just because you're not there doesn't mean these people are not capable of taking care of themselves and of each other. And this is what I mentioned in episode 2, is that you're not going to have to be there forever. They're going to have to figure things out on their own. And they're slowly figuring that out, I'm seeing my brothers become more independent by the second since I'm not there. I'm seeing them learn things and try new things that they wouldn't have done otherwise if I had stuck around. And that's a good thing because they're young men, they're growing and they need to figure out how to take care of themselves, right? And it's a good thing to develop skills and qualities. They don't need their big sis doing everything for them forever. How are they ever going to learn if I'm always there to save their ass, Or even here when they were helping me build my furniture and stuff, I tend to micromanage and I tend to get frustrated and be like, no, give me that. I'll do it myself. But I really had to watch myself and remind myself that this is a learning opportunity for them. And yes, it might take them a second to figure it out, but they will. I have to give them the space to figure it out, though. Me stepping in and taking over is not helping them. And that is something I learned firsthand this past week. And watching them help me, and it kind of ties back into the hyper independence thing again. Like, you don't believe that anyone can take care of you better than you can take care of yourself. And in some cases, yes, that is true. And that's okay. I know that I can take care of myself well. It's because I've done it forever, but you got to let people love you too, man. You got to let them in and let them do it in their own way. And I've seen them show up for me in ways that I never thought they would. And I never thought to ask them for those things or that kind of support. But I'm appreciative of the fact that they try. Even though they know that I'm hard-headed and stubborn. I have a hard time, letting my guard down and asking for help. But they're really good about working around that with me. So this move has been really cool. I mean, I will say I'm still getting used to like being alone all day, especially when you work night shift, you work nights, so you're gone at the hospital and then you're here all day sleeping pretty much. But on your days off, you're just kind of like sitting here like, what do I do? I mean, there have been plenty of things to do, getting settled in. I've been moving and furniture and decorating and cooking everything all the time, so it's getting busy, you know. I still have things to do, but it's weird not having the company or just like people around you, which is different. But then again, this is an opportunity to invite your friends over, invite your siblings, your parents over, and have them just hang around you, because now you guys can hang out in your own little space and you can run on your own schedule and you have your own comfort zone that you're in. You have your little safe space. So it's cool. I'm excited for the holidays because I really want to bring my brothers over and have a little Christmas movie night and do little Christmas activities together, have a little sleepover. It'll be fun, you know? It'll be different. And yes, for you, it's kind of scary, but it's also exciting. But for them, it's cool too. Like, yes, they're still at home. And yes, they're under your parents' roof, but this can be like a cool little spot for them to hang out every now and then. You know, they'll see your apartment as their safe space too. You know, when it comes to your little siblings and feeling like you're leaving them behind, you're not. You're bringing them along with you. Don't worry about that. It can be scary at first. Trust me. I understand. And there have been moments in this apartment where I'm just like, what the hell did I do? I question it sometimes because I'm like, damn, I really wish I had people around me. But then I'm like, no, actually, I've craved this alone time and this space for myself for so long. And now it's beautiful that I can do literally whatever I want. But it's cool to see that the person I've become, I lean towards choices that just add value to my life, you know. In the past, when I moved out, freedom to me was about a lack of rules. Now freedom to me involves a lot of rules, but that's for the sake of my own well-being and, you know, becoming the best version of myself. It's not about being rebellious and doing whatever I want and being kind of a reckless person. It's more about having the discipline to live the most free life. But it's about interior freedom, you know, and that's why I'm really appreciative of this experience now, because it's kind of shown me how far I've come and how much further I need to go. I have definitely been faced with myself within the past week. I've realized some things about myself that I still really need to work on. But I never would have realized those things otherwise. When you put yourself in a new environment and new situations, you see parts of yourself you wouldn't otherwise discover. And then it helps you kind of navigate the next steps for the person you want to become and how you got to get to that point, you know? So if you're kind of in a similar boat as me, you know, you've graduated, you have a full-time job now, and you're thinking about next steps, or maybe you're even, you know, in high school about to go to college, or even, you know, if you've already been on your own for a little bit, but you're still thinking about how to find ways to be more independent, and you're thinking about moving out of your parents' home. I would say the major thing, obviously, to consider is finances, right? You know, who's paying for this? Are you paying for it? Are your parents helping you? You taking loans? Depending on your situation, right? You have to make sure that this is smart and it's not going to affect future you negatively when it comes to finances. But another thing you got to think about is this going to hurt you or help you? And how is it going to help you? You know, and is it better than the situation you're in right now, essentially, for where you want to end up later on in life? For me, I feel like I could have stayed at home and things would have been fine, but I knew that I needed to kind of change things up a little bit, put myself in a new environment to push myself past this plateauing stage of my life. I felt like, you know, I had done a lot of growth and stuff, but I was kind of peaking. And I was like, there's more for me out there. I just need to be in a new environment. I need to take the next step. So that has proven to be true, because over the past few weeks, I have realized that I made the right choice by doing that, because I am discovering new parts of myself and new things that I got to work on, new things I want to try and be better at. So I have discovered that this was the right choice for me. But take some time to think about it. But if you're holding yourself back because of fear, don't let that be the deciding factor. You should hold yourself back out of practicality, not out of fear, though. Because if everything else is in line and you're just scared of what's going to happen, man, do it. Like, I mean, obviously trust your gut. You know, your intuition will tell you more than anything. but trust your gut. You know, if it brings you peace, but your ego is throwing fear at you, that's how you know that you got to take that next step. So I hope this helps. I know it can be kind of terrifying. It's a lot to think about, and there's so much planning and preparation that goes into moving out. So take your time with it. There's no actual rush. I mean, everyone's situation is different. For me, I took some time to research and really make sure things were in order before I pulled the trigger on that one. But I'm really glad I did it, and I'm so excited to see how things go over the next year while I'm here. So anyways, with that being said, again, for listening to another episode of It's Okay, Baby Girl. I'm always here for you if you need anything. I would love to hear your feedback if you have questions about moving and finances and furniture and all the fun stuff, or even just practical things like, day-to-day routines and cooking and self-care when you're living by yourself and how to reach out to your support system. We're going to talk about all of that because this is what I'm saying. Like, this opportunity, this move has given me new things to look at. So, and new content to provide for all of you. But if you need anything at all, you got questions or anything like that, you let me know, because we can talk about it one-on-one or in future episodes, and we're going to be just fine. But if you're scared, just know that it's okay, baby girl. And if you're going through a move or transitional period in your life right now, just know that you're not alone. I'm here with you, and I'm figuring things out just like you are. So we're in this together, and you can lean on me for support. And be sure to ask your friends and family for love when you need it, okay? No shame in that. So with that being said, I will see you guys in the next episode. I love you guys so much, and just remember, it's okay, baby girl. Goodbye.